Chosen Vessels, what's the deal? It's your main man, Druuill, and I'm back at you again with another video. Shout out to the Galactic family. Shout out to Drew Nation. Shout out to the Chosen Vessels. Let's get right into it. Everybody hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to subscribe. Someone is trying to stop you from completing your mission, but they already failed and cannot defeat you. There are new people who are paying attention to you, and these new people don't like what they see. There are new people that you now have the attention of because you're rising to a higher level. And regardless of where you're at, these people see you raising to a higher level and they are pissed off. How are you here? How are you vibrating at such a high frequency that we have to now pay attention to you, take time out of our day to try to stop you and see what you're up to monitor you? They do not like what they see. Someone like you is not supposed to have the attention of whoever now is putting themselves in place to try and stop your mission. But they're going to fail, just like everyone else. What they don't like that they see is that you have basically risen above everything that was already in your way. And now they see you getting ready to rise above them too. So when you're constantly rising and when you're constantly going up, there's going to be people who you catch the attention of. You're going to think that you have nothing to do with those people, and you're going to think that they have nothing to do with you. But oh, are you mistaken? They have everything to do with you, even though you want nothing. You don't want anything to do with them. But they want everything to do with you. They want everything to do with you because they want to stop you. And they want to be a part of your failure instead of your success, obviously. But to them, they want to be able to say, I stopped him. They want to be able to say, I stopped her. Because they're cruel, they're sick, they got a mindset that says nobody's going to be better but me. And on top of that, not just that, they don't want to see someone like you rise above and make it. You are now starting to see strange things take place. There are certain vehicles that just keep seeming to pop up at the most random times. Random, but not random. Because they randomly just pop up whenever you're trying to go do things, take care of business, handle business. And what they want you to know is that they see you. And they want you to know that they're trying to put themselves in your way. They're trying to block your blessing. They're trying to make it harder for you to do what you have to do. But they're not going to be successful, no matter how hard they try to make it difficult for you. People will try to make things incredibly hard for you. They'll try to make it so hard that you give up. They'll try to make it so difficult that you don't want to keep going. And also, they'll try to make it so hard for you that you won't even pursue it anymore. They'll try to, if people see that you have a way of doing something, what evil does, what the devil does, he takes evil people and will try to insert themselves in your life to try to make things difficult for you to get things done. So people will try to throw a monkey wrench in your plans. They'll try to make it so hard that you say, you know what, it's not even worth it anymore. But the harder it gets, the more worth it is. The more people that try to stop you, the harder you got to go. the stronger you got to become. You can't stop for the likes of them. You can't give them that satisfaction, especially since you even overcame people like them before you even met this person. You done already overcame 6, 7, 10, 20 people like that already. It seems like everybody you come across in life tries to stop you. So what's one more person? Just because they may have a little extra power, just because they may have a little extra flair, just because they may have to make you take a detour, doesn't mean they're any more powerful than the people that you've already overcame. And you're going to keep overcoming these suckers. All right? These suckers cannot stop you, no matter how hard they try. They're not going to be able to stop you from completing your mission. It's so deep, they got you in a database. All right? They got you in the demonic database. They got you in the demonic database, watching you, watching everything you do. See, the world we live in today, everything is monitored. Everything. They're either monitoring your spirit, they're either monitoring you, they're either monitoring your spirit in real life, or they're either monitoring you on a database spiritually. All right. They're either watching you in real life, live your life, or they could be doing both. Some are so wicked and some have so much time on their hands, depending on the type of job they have, they're able to do both. People who work for tech companies are able to do both. People who drive around and work for tech companies, they're able to do both. They're able to monitor you in real life, they're able to monitor you online on a database. So there are people who are heavily studying you, watching you, and taking notes. All right. They want there's some people out there trying to learn every single thing about you that they can, because they want to have so much information on you, because they want to know where to attack you at. They want to know how they could try to stop you. They want to know whatever you're doing with your life, whatever plans you have going on in your life, and they want to be the one to put a pause on it, because that's going to make them feel good, because they're not up to anything. And you have a lot of people who aren't up to anything, that don't want to be anything, that just want to stop somebody else. And they feel that they don't have a mission, so they're going to make their mission to stop you from completing your mission. And however you have to go about completing your mission, that's what they're going to attack. They're going to try to make things difficult for you, to try to make you complete and follow through. All right. Whatever resources you have to use, they'll attack that. All right. It may be them trying to stop you from whatever it is. However you try to do whatever you do, that's what they're going to try to use against you. All right. So whatever it is you try to do, they may try to take they what they'll try to do is they'll try to ruin your way of doing things. They'll try to take things away from you to ruin your way of doing things. Say you go to a store because you're a designer and you need a certain type of fabric or a certain type of thread or a certain type of material or some type of adhesive, some type of glue or whatever you need, some type of equipment. You'll go to purchase your equipment and it'll all be bought up, the color that you use. And they may have bought it up in that particular area. So now you may have to order it offline. So now you have to wait. But the clothes you were supposed to make were due next week. You may now have to go out of your pocket and do a faster shipping order, so that way you could get it done and have the clothes out by the time they're supposed to be out, by the time it's due. So now you have to come out of pocket and you have to pay for extra fabric, extra material, out of state, maybe even it might even be coming from another country. And now it may even be so that the money that you're putting out is more to create the dress or the suit or whatever you have to make for this fancy person, famous person, that now you're going to end up having to put more out than you're even going to get back for creating what it is you're making. But that's business. Sometimes you have to put out more than you get back just to see your dream go through, just so you can see your dream happen. But but it's just a universe trying to test you to see how bad you really want it. So it may seem like people are trying to stop you. It may seem like they're trying to put your mission to an end, but all they're doing is allowing you to show God and the universe how bad you really want what you want. God is testing you to see how bad you really want it. And you want this bad enough. You want it bad enough to not allow anything or anyone to stop you. No matter how hard they're going to try, you're not going to give in and you're not going to let it happen. They can't make you quit unless you allow them to make you quit. If you allow what they're doing to be that difficult and that hard for you to stop, then shame on you, because you've been through harder things. You've been through more difficult things. When things aren't easy for you anymore, don't stop just because it's not easy, just because you can't do it in the comfort of your own home, just because you can't do it the same way you normally do it, just because it may be a little bit more difficult or a little bit more harder. You may have to walk somewhere. You may have to pay for a ride. You may have to catch a ride. You may have to figure out a way to make it happen. All right. It may take longer. It may take all day. But however, they're trying to make you stop, whatever they're trying to do to get you to quit, don't give in. All right. Doesn't matter if they're watching you so close. It doesn't matter if they put some plots together, some plans together to try and stop you. Those things don't matter. When people are trying to put things together to try and stop something that you're doing, that should tell you something. They like when people try to stop you from even buying something. It's like, you don't even want me to pay for something because when I buy this, it helps me because it makes my life easier. So you don't even want me to pay for this. People will use any type of strategy, any type of warfare on you that you can. I mean, that they can. And you'll think it's so minuscule that it won't even matter, but you really don't know that these people know more about you than you think they do. They know you go to that store and buy that fabric. They know you go online and make that purchase. They know you go to the store and buy certain things, and they know you go and you get certain you need certain tools and you need certain things to get things done. They know that. They know these things. So what they'll do is they watch you so much to see what you're into, to see what they can ruin. Okay, well, if I know he buys this, I'm going to buy him all up so that way he can't have them. Well, if she needs this, I'm going to buy it all up so she can't have it. Well, if she needs to buy this, I'm going to make it so she can't buy it. It's all types of weird, wicked things that people will do when they're too worried about you. All right. Some people are so worried about you. It's like people know that it's like similar somebody knowing that your birthday's coming up and you have to now work on the day of your birthday because you went to go uh, take off that day, but the person that was supposed to cover or whatever already took off that day, or everybody are. They will try to stop you from completing your mission, but they'll be unsuccessful. All right. Your mission is, it's not just you're helping, it's other people that you're helping. And like you're not just doing it for yourself, you're not just doing it for other people. First and foremost, you're doing it for a higher power, you're doing it for God. And that's why people are trying to stop you so much, because it's not just you that you're doing it for. So when you're doing things for yourself, or when you're being selfish about something, of course, it's not going to be anything. It's not going to be that much opposition. It's not going to be hardly anything in the way. But when you're doing something that's benefiting other people, when you're doing something that's helping folks, when you're doing something that's helping yourself, when you're doing something that's allowing yourself to grow and other people to grow, and it's raising the vibration, it's raising your vibration. All right, they can watch and see what you're doing and how you're doing it and who you're doing it with, who you're talking to, who you're messaging. They can see everything that you're doing on these computers. So once you hit a certain level, they're going to start to do like electronic harassment. All right. It's going to be weird things that happen electronically. It's just not only electronic harassment. Is that's a whole nother video. But in my particular case, as I do things on the internet, that's the way that they could potentially or are coming at me. So it depends on whatever you do. You shoot hoops, they may close out the basketball uh, gym that day. Like they will try to discourage you and sabotage your mission by any means possible. When I would go out, when I would work out at the park, when there was a park around me where I lived, I worked out at that park so much that the powers that be got afraid and intimidated. I would go out and go to the park, and I would do burpees and pull ups and push ups and jumping jacks, and I would do it until failure, like not until I failed, but until like it was over, basically. So not until failure, excuse me, not until failure, but it felt like until failure. I tell you that. That's how serious it was. It felt worse than it was, but it wasn't that bad. Um, like my shirts would be drenched. I would be like dripping sweat, mosquito bites all over me, bug bites. I didn't give a crap. I wanted to get my workout in. So the image that I upheld by staying consistent with my workout, going there every day, it made them afraid. So what did they do? I would go work out. They'd have shooting range practice at the park. Ironically, the same time I would go work out to try to deter me and discourage me from going to the park to work out. Who wants to get shot? Nobody. All right. So you're trying to work out, and they're trying to put the fear in your mind of you think you're going to get strong and overcome us. We'll shoot you. But guess what? That's where God comes in. I didn't let them put fear in me. I kept my workout. Not gonna lie, I was distracted by it a little bit. I was beating on my chest and letting them know I saw them and letting them know that I knew what they were up to and all this little lame, corny stuff that was unnecessary because I could have, that could have not ended well for me. Not to say I would have gotten into any harmful situations, but it could have possibly resulted in me not being able to go back to the park, or it could have resulted in me getting some type of fine or me getting put in handcuffs or something, having to sit in some back of somebody's truck or something. Who knows what those people were trying to achieve or what type of evil negative spirit they had on them. All right. They will try to set you up and get you caught up in certain things. So it's when you're dealing with, and this is why I will always make references to this in any video, when you're dealing with people that are trying to sabotage you, stop you, get in your way, make you quit, it's important that you are emotionally sound. It's important that you're mentally sound. It's important that you got yourself in check and that you have some type of peace about you. You have some type of coping mechanisms. You have something that you can use to bring yourself to a centered mind. All right, because they want you to react and they want to get you mad and they want to get you to act out. All right, if you're unable to do what you do, they want you to act out because of it. If they make it hard for you and try to sabotage you and try to stop your mission, they want you to think it's the end of the world. They want you to think that you have to quit and give up because they're trying to stop your mission. Oh, they stopped me. I have to quit. No, you don't. You just have to find some other ways to go about doing what it is you need to do. And the higher you get, the better you get, the greater you get, the more creative you're going to have to get. You're going to have to find other ways of doing things. There are going to be people who will try to insert themselves into your dream reality and try to make it a nightmare. It's just the way it goes. There are people who have dreams and there are people who don't. Some of the people who don't have dreams are bitter and they want to stop the dreamers. All right. There are people who are thinking about you right now, trying to come up with plans right now on how they could try to stop you and sabotage you from achieving your goal. They're sitting there thinking about it right now, sitting there having some coffee, eating a sandwich, talking to somebody else. How are we going to stop him? How are we going to stop her? You're trying to put out a book. They don't want you to put your book out. You're trying to start a clothing line. They don't want you to do that. You're trying to start you online. You're trying to start something online. They don't want you to do that. trying to get yourself together. They don't even want you to do that. Trying to get healthy and eat healthy and get in shape. They don't even want you to do that. The type of person you are makes them not want to see you try. If you were a person that they didn't care about, you could do whatever you want and try all day long. But because you represent the Most High, they have to stop you, because when you do things, it hits different. When you do something, you're doing it for God. You're doing it for the kingdom. You're doing it for the greater good of everyone and everything as far as God is concerned. Yes, you're doing it because it helps you, and you're also doing it because it's helpful for others. And when you can find something, when you can do something that helps more than just yourself, that's when you become even more of a threat and even more of a target, because they're going to have to deal with more people like yourself. Once people start to catch wind of whatever it is you're doing, once people start to realize, hey, he's right, or whatever she's saying, she's right, or whatever it is, once people see your messaging on your clothes, or once people get the feel good energy from your food that you make, whatever, however you can give people hope, or whatever you can do to make things better, and cancel out evil in the evil negative society or world, is going to be somebody that is paying attention to you that doesn't like it. And it doesn't even have to be on no CIA secret agent level. It could just be your negative next door neighbor. All right, it could just your neighbor could be so negative that they just so close to you and they know you, they just don't want to see what you got going on. It could be the person that you work with. You go to work with them, you see them every day, they just don't want to see you rise above. All right, so there are people that just want to stop you from completing your mission. All right, they see that you're so caught up and hung up on getting things done, because they know that there's a place that you're going to that they're not going to be able to go. They know that if you complete this mission, they're going to have to suffer, knowing that they didn't try to stop you. All right. Some of you people just, they don't want to see you become anything. All right. And they're vultures, they're snakes, rattlesnakes. All right. They're foul. They shouldn't be doing that, but that's the type of person that they are, and that's who they want to be. All right, so they want to try to stop somebody, so you have to want to keep going. All right, so everybody keep going. All right, don't let these people stop you while you're on your mission. They may make things weird, they may make things harder, they may make things difficult, but you have to within all of that, you still got to keep going. You still got to keep fighting, and you still have to create what the Lord wants you to create. You still got to put forth what your skill is, you still got to go after your goal. You still got to chase after what it is you want out of life. You can't stop because other people want to see you stopped. They want you to stop. That's exactly what they want. If you stop, you're giving them exactly what they want. No matter how weird it gets, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how tough they try to make it for you, that should let you know that the harder things get for you, that other people are trying to do, that should show you that you really have something going there. They wouldn't be trying to stop you if you didn't have anything that was worthwhile to be stopped. What you have is so valuable, they have to try to stop you from coming up off of it, creating it, thinking of it, putting it out into the world, it getting out to other people. It's so powerful, they don't want nobody to get their hands on it, because when it touches people, it's going to change people. It's going to have a strong impact on people. They don't want that. And they don't want you to change your life either. All right, there are people who rather see you stuck in the same position. So if what you're doing is life changing for yourself, that means it's going to be life changing for others. So if something that you're doing is able to change your life, the impact that it's going to have on other people is going to be monumental as well. And this is something that they don't want, especially if they've been watching you, they've caught a liking to you in your current state, and that's where they want to keep you at, because they don't want you to be powerful, because you'll expose them. You'll create ways around the evil that they try to put out into the world. All right. you're going to be a powerful force that is basically going to be up against them, combating them, and you're now something that's on their radar. Since they couldn't squash you, now you become a threat and something that they worry about 24/7, and that's why they want to take you out, because they're so worried about you becoming successful, because the things attached to you, the things that are going to change, the change you're going to bring, all right, the new vibrations you're going to have, the new level you're going to be on. They don't want you to rise up to the next level. When you rise up to the next level, you're somebody that was on the bottom. So you're going to be trying to do things that are in a different way than the way they do things, especially since you're not a part of their program and a part of their matrix. So since you're doing things your own way, in a different way, in the way that God would want you to do, it's not going to be a part of what they have going on. So when you're standing out and sticking out and creating your own lane, other people are going to feel and see that they can do the same. And there are certain people that they just don't want to have their own thing. Certain people are allowed to have their own thing and do their own thing. Other people, they make it extremely difficult for them on purpose so that they give up, they stop, and they just sit and just see themselves as someone that doesn't have to do anything but what they're told to do. And you want to live it up. You don't want to do what you're told to do. You want to do you don't want to do what they tell you to do. You want to do what God tells you to do. And when you do what God tells you to do, you get to live the life of your dreams. That's what people are forgetting about God. When you do what he tells you to do, you get to live an amazing life. He knows what's in your heart. He knows what you desire. That's why it's foolish to believe in man and to trust man and go after what man wants for you. You're supposed to go after what God wants for you. People just want to play it safe. They don't want nobody following them. They don't want nobody trying to stop them. They don't want nobody all up in their business. That's what comes with the territory when you choose success. When you choose success and you know you can have more out of life regardless of the situation and the circumstances you've been put in, some people are like, wait a minute, he's starting to get out of the bucket. We got to put some more crabs in there to pull him down. And that's all it is. They're crabs in a bucket that are trying to pull you down and keep you stuck because they like you where you're at. They like being able to play games with you. They like being able to see you in a lower state. They like seeing you stressed and worried and not moving forward in life. And when you're able to move forward in life and they see how you're doing it and how you're able to do it, you best believe they're going to try to get in between that. And oh, that's how he does it. We got to stop him. That's how she does it. We got to stop her. So don't get upset. Just focus on the other ways of doing things, because there's more than one way to skin a cat, even when you have more than one hater in your life trying to hold you back. So it is what it is. There's been plenty of people who have the enemy has tried to stop before and they were unsuccessful. And just like the modern enemy is trying to stop us, all right, the modern chosen ones, they're going to be unsuccessful as well. They will not stop us. They can't. All they can do is try. Their efforts are a waste of time. All right, they're never going to be able to stop what God has for you. They may just be able to make it difficult, harder to do it, more stressful, but they can't stop you from getting it done. They may make it a little harder for you to get it done, but they can't stop you from getting done what you're supposed to do. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. Everybody hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, I'll see each and every one of you go-getters in the next video. Peace, love, light, and stand on business. We out.